Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry Wright with you. Today, my guest from the Railroad Preservation Society here in Fayette County, we have Martin Renison. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you.
And we got Paul Febo. How are you, sir?
I'm fine also, thanks.
And City Manager Joe Denon. Joe, how are you?
It's a great day, Harry.
It is a great day. And Martin, now there's some things going on out there. I want to, first of all, gentlemen, I want to thank you for decorating the train this year for Christmas. So many compliments, and took pictures, put it on Facebook, and it really looked great. How big of an effort was that?
Actually, not as big of an effort as we thought. We didn't know what to anticipate, but we put our best efforts into it, and a few days of setup and prep, and turned out tremendous, you know.
Oh, it did. You're driving by there at night. You know, it was great. And it's just one of the ways to kind of highlight old 2776, isn't it?
Yeah, my experience is a Christmas tree and the locomotive and the caboose, just a little bit better than a Christmas tree.
Now, the caboose has gone under some renovations. Paul, tell us about those.
Well, the caboose we started renovating in 2011, and it's got all new siding. The exterior is basically finished, the roof, the walkway on top, the painting, of course, and the stenciling, which was something that we had help from a fellow from Columbus. Dwight Jones is his name, and he loaned us his stencils. And Martin's a painter, and we was able to dab the brush the way we were instructed, and we got some authentic-looking stencils on a caboose. And I think it looks very nice.
Now, how hard was it to come across stencils from that time period?
Well, the caboose, Dwight had those, and he loaned us those free. And the locomotive was a different story. We had to look those up online and see the font, which was Chesapeake Roman, and those had to be made by hand. We had a kind of a local yokel who did that, and it was me.
Oh, I got you. I kind of figured that. You know, how many of the parts were you able to purchase, or how many did you actually have to fabricate yourself?
Well, of the stencils, we fabricated everything from tracing paper to hardboard to cutting those out by hand, and it took me 108 hours to do that. So the fingers got kind of sore. Yeah.
I bet they did, but it's great to get this restored. Now, I understand we were looking for parts.
Correct. We know there's a lot of parts missing. For example, we got builder's plates missing, whistles, gauges, various other pieces that just over the years have gone missing.
And so what we would like to have is to have everybody that's got a piece of the train to bring it back.
Exactly. We'd like to have a lot of parts. Martin mentioned some of the parts. One of the parts that I remember is the right side of the engine has windows missing. There's 3 metal windows in there. They're all missing, and I've heard by the grapevine that they're in the community, but don't know if we'll get those back or not. We'd like to have them and restore the locomotive the way it used to be.
Well, over the years, people have taken these parts home to refabricate them or refurbish them, or try to fix them up to bring them back, and that project got set along the wayside. There it is, still sitting on the corner of the workbench.
Right. We know that there's one member who has the engineer's seat, and he's trying to restore that at home, and that's not a missing part, but a lot of parts are. We really enjoyed having the front of the engine lit during Christmas. The headlights worked. The headlight worked. The classification lights worked. And we're missing some lights up front called classification lights, and we'd surely like to have those either brought back if they're in the community, or purchased if they're available online or at a flea market or antique sale, or possibly made. People say that those can be made out of wood. They're cannonball lanterns. They've got a green and a yellow lens on opposite sides, and they would just really dress up the locomotive the way it used to be.
Joe, how important is the locomotive to the city of Washington?
Well, I think it speaks to the railroad history of the community. I think that really this is a story more about people with a little bit of support from the city, and I mean just a little bit. You've had a group of local citizens do extraordinary work down there. The progress that they made with the caboose, I honestly didn't think that they'd get to the point where they're at today. I mean, that caboose is an amazing treasure for the community, and we're happy to help out and see progress with the locomotive.
All right, now if anybody's out there's got a part, Paul, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can contact Martin or I. My phone number is in the book, I believe, under my wife's name, and you can look me up on Google. Martin Renison has a painting company here. He's very available. Just contact Martin, or you can contact Joe, the city manager. And yes, we'd like to have those parts back. No questions asked.
There you go. No questions asked. If you happen to have them and you forgot about working on it, or you just ran across it, especially the gauges and stuff, they're probably hard to replace. If you can have those stuff, please get a hold of either Joe, Paul, or Martin. I want to thank them for taking time out of their very busy day. It's the Railroad Preservation Society of Fayette County. We thank you guys for all the work that you do out there at the park with the trains.
Thanks so much. I would like to say one just quick thank you, and that's Fayette Travel and Tourism. They've been absolutely tremendous in helping us with funding for the various projects we've taken on. So I would like to thank them.
Isn't Joe Linda great?
Wonderful.
Yes, she is. I agree there too. All right, so thank you very much, Travel and Tourism here in Fayette County. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.